Mark, first of all, how's the squad looking for the weekend? No injury worries or?
No, really. They're all looking great. They've come back from international duty a little bit tired, of course, because they've had some big flights. But now they're in really good spirits. I think most of it was a real positive experience for them being away. So everybody's come back and he's ready to go for the game against Chelsea.
And for you, is it a little bit frustrating where you play the first couple of games and it's going well, and then suddenly you sort of lose a lot of people for a couple of weeks?
I think you get used to it. I think you get used to the fact that if you're at a club like Manchester United and you want to win things and you want to be a successful club, you have international players. So nobody listens to my frustration, so it'll be part of the job. But no, it's good for us. It's good for us to have the challenge of these. I won't always be saying that, because if we get to a point where all of our players are internationals and we've got no one to work with. But I think we had a good week without that as well. With the players that were still here, we got a lot of their individual plans on progression. So I think it was a good week for everything, really.
And straight back into it with obviously real quality opposition this weekend. What are you expecting?
I expect a team that will create a lot of chances because that's what they do against everybody. A team that we are hoping to exploit and looking to exploit the things that they give us. So, you can still definitely attack Chelsea and create things against them too. So I expect an exciting game where we have to be sharp at both ends of the field, really. I feel that we'll be in a position where we can create the spaces, and then we have to be in the mindset of finishing too. Because if you don't, then Chelsea, you don't get near to Chelsea. So we know how good they can be, but our job is to focus on us. I think we have to get to a stage where we focus on what we can achieve as a club, and pay the respect that's due to the champions of last season and the European runners-up. But that would be then focusing too much on the opponent. I think we have to make sure we're in a position where we try to make the best of what we can do in every game, regardless whether it be Chelsea or not. But I expect a really, really the toughest of challenges, and that's where we have to be at our game.
Is it in a way a test of where we are at the moment by playing Chelsea at this stage?
Absolutely. I think it's always a test. Whenever you play teams that are going to be where you hope to be in and around that situation, I think it's always a test. But that's what we're here for. So when we go into these games, I don't think you shouldn't be in a position where you fear anything. You should be in a position where you go and enjoy each moment. And I'm pretty sure the last time I checked with the players, these are the games that they love to play in. So I think we use the energy that is going to be obviously exposed from these situations, and we use that to really drive ourselves in our, not only now, but our ongoing adventure together, because this is a team that's going to continue to grow.
It's interesting there you said about enjoying it. Sometimes you sort of maybe forget to enjoy it when you think about the game and who you're playing, the opposition. But the enjoyment is a big part of it, isn't it?
It's absolutely, without any doubt, what everybody starts the game for. They start as a moment where they want to enjoy. They enjoy it with friends. They do enjoy it because they're doing it with family. Whatever the situation is, they watch it on TV and love it. And I think we forget about that because professionalism probably drives that out of you. It's all about the winning. And with winning becomes disappointment because not everybody can win. So our job is now to continue the enjoyment, but match that with the intensity needed to perform to win. And that's going to be a key indicator against the teams like Chelsea, and obviously when we come up against the teams that have been in the top areas before. But I just think that we have to have that enjoyment in the game. I think it shows on players' faces when you have it, and that's what I'm going to continue to encourage as we grow on our journey together.
Intensity you mentioned there, is that a key thing in games like this?
If you don't have the intensity, there's no doubt Chelsea will bring in intensity. We have to be at a position where we bring in intensity, and that's every individual. So when we come into our focus pre-match, we have to be ready to bring our energy in and commit everything on the line to get in the success. There's going to be moments we're going to be 1v1 in the box. There's going to be moments where they create opportunities. We have to be in a position where we can take that, take it off them, and then maximise it for our own positions when we go further up the field. So it's going to be a real focal point. But any of the games where you play against the top teams, they're usually tight affairs, and it's the focus, the people that can focus the most, that get the best results.
And what about home advantage? We were talking about with Maria earlier on. He was saying that the crowd really did make a difference for the first home game of the season. Well, now that we've got crowds back, for a game like this, would you expect home advantage to be a factor?
I'd absolutely hope so. I think that when I've heard our fans, they usually make the away trips home advantage as well. So I think that they're bringing that energy and that vibe, and that, like, we like to talk about it with as players and staff as the synergy, where the fans cross over onto the pitch and we cross back over into the stands. So we have to bring that, and we need to give the fans things on the field to continue to drive that energy. It shouldn't just be out of just their loyal love and support for their team. It has to be a kind of a marriage of us playing to their principles, to the club principles, and then them helping us to continue that. So we want them to continue to be the energy behind our red wave that we're trying to create. They're the biggest factors why we even do the sport at this, especially at the highest level.